Hello viewers, and welcome to our comprehensive guide on the real cost of moving to the UK. Whether you're moving for work, study, or a change of scenery, understanding the financial implications is crucial. Today, we'll break down the costs you'll face, from visas to housing, transportation, and beyond. So make sure you watch till the end of the video, so you do not miss all this important immigration information. For those new to the family, please do not forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, let's get into it. Section 1. Visa and immigration fees. First up, let's talk about visas. The type of visa you need depends on your reason for moving. For instance, the Youth Mobility Scheme visa, formerly known as the Tier 5 visa, has an application fee of £244 and a healthcare surcharge of £470 per year. This visa allows you to live and work in the UK for up to 2 years, if you are aged 18 to 30, and have £2,530 in savings. Another type of visa is the Ancestry visa. As of 2023, the application fee for a UK Ancestry visa is £637. In addition to the application fee, applicants must also pay the annual Immigration Health Surcharge, IHS, fee of £624. As the visa is granted for 5 years, a total of £3,120 will need to be paid up front in IHS fees. It's important to note that these costs can change, so always check the latest fees. For example, the application fee for the Youth Mobility Scheme visa is set to increase to £298 from January 31, 2024. In addition to the visa fees, you'll also need to provide proof of savings. For the Youth Mobility visa, you need to have £2,530 in your account for a month before applying. The evidence of cash savings should include bank statements, to show that the cash has been held in the account of the applicant, or their partner, or in a joint account for at least 6 months. The last statement should be dated no earlier than 28 days prior to the date of the visa application. Remember, the visa application process may also involve additional costs, such as providing your biometric information, proving your English language levels, where relevant, or the Life in the UK test, where applicable. Section 2. Housing costs. In the section on housing costs, we delve into the expenses associated with housing in the UK, particularly in London. Housing is likely to be your most significant expense when moving to the UK. In London, the average price for flats starts at £414,889, and terraced houses start at £493,5797. However, these prices can vary significantly depending on the specific area within London. For instance, the average property price in Outer London is £578,000. Outside of London, house prices can range from £200,000 to £500,000. Again, these prices can vary depending on the specific location within the UK. Renting a property is also a considerable expense. In London, average monthly rents have soared to a record high of £2,500. Outside of London, the average monthly rent is £1,278. In addition to the monthly rent, you'll also need to consider the deposit, which is usually about 6 weeks' rent. However, the deposit cannot usually be more than 5 weeks' rent if your rent is less than £4,167 a month. If your yearly rent is more than £50,000, the deposit can't be more than 6 weeks' rent. It's important to note that these costs can vary, and may change over time, so it's always a good idea to check the latest prices and fees. Section 3. Living expenses. In the section on living expenses, we will explore the day-to-day costs of living in the UK, including the impact of living alone versus as a couple, utility bills, and council tax. Living expenses in the UK can vary significantly depending on the region. For instance, the average monthly living cost for a single person in London, excluding rent, is estimated to be around £919, which amounts to £11,028 per year. In Manchester, the average monthly living cost for a single person is £728, or £8,736 per year. In Edinburgh, the average monthly living cost for a single person is £678, or £8,136 per year. In Cardiff, the average monthly living cost for a single person is £680, or £8,160 per year. Living alone can be more expensive, with a single person spending up to £2,000 more annually than someone in a couple. Utilities and energy bills are high due to privatisation, and they're rising each year. Council tax is another consideration, though living alone gets you a 25% discount. In London, the average monthly living cost for a single person, excluding rent, is estimated to be around £919, which amounts to £11,028 per year. For a family of 4, the monthly cost rises to £3,196, or more than £38,352 annually. The cost of living in the UK can vary significantly depending on the region. Living alone can be more expensive, with higher utility bills and council tax. It's important to carefully consider these factors when planning your move to the UK. Section 4. Transportation. In the UK, transportation costs can be a significant part of the overall cost of living. Public transport, especially in cities like London, can be expensive. For example, a one-way ticket on local transport in the UK averages around £2.40, and a monthly pass can cost around £602. The cost of public transport can vary depending on the location, and in London, the cost of a journey is a flat rate of £1.50 per hour. The high cost of public transport can be a burden for workers, especially in cities where the cost of living is already high. Overcrowding at peak times is also a common issue, making the daily commute more stressful. The UK government generally doesn't subsidise the cost of travel, which means that transport providers are free to set their prices to make a profit. For those who choose to drive, the costs can be even higher. In addition to the cost of a car, there are expenses such as insurance, fuel, maintenance, and parking fees in urban areas. The cost of taking a train in the UK is also significantly higher than in Europe, which can make long-distance travel more expensive. The cost of transportation in the UK can be a significant part of the overall cost of living, especially in cities like London. The high cost of public transport and the additional expenses of owning a car can be a burden for many residents. It's important for those considering a move to the UK to carefully consider these costs when planning their budget. Section 5. Healthcare. In the UK, the National Health Service, NHS, provides publicly funded healthcare, with access based on clinical need, not the ability to pay. The NHS covers primary, emergency, and compulsory psychiatric care, free of charge, for all individuals, irrespective of their nationality or immigration status. However, coverage for secondary care services is only available for those who are ordinarily resident in the UK. Healthcare in the UK is a devolved matter, with England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and Wales each having their own systems of publicly funded healthcare, funded by and accountable to separate governments and parliaments, together with smaller private sector and voluntary provision. The NHS is funded by taxes, and most healthcare services are free at the point of use. However, dental and some optician services aren't free. Private healthcare is an option but comes with a hefty price tag. The cost of healthcare in the UK is also a consideration for those moving to the country. For example, visa and immigration applicants are required to pay a healthcare surcharge as part of their application. The surcharge is £470 per year for a student or youth mobility scheme visa, and £624 per year for all other visa and immigration applications. The UK's healthcare system is publicly funded and provides free healthcare services for those who are ordinarily resident in the country. While most healthcare services are free at the point of use, there are some exceptions, and private healthcare is available for those who are willing to pay for it. The cost of healthcare should be considered by those who are planning to move to the UK. Moving to the UK is an exciting venture, but it's not without its costs. From visa fees to housing, living expenses, and those hidden extras, it's important to budget carefully. By planning ahead and understanding the real costs involved, you can make your move to the UK a successful and financially sound decision. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the costs of moving to the UK. Not so fast though. Did you like the video? Do you have friends and family that will benefit from this information? Then please like, share and subscribe to support the family. Safe travels and best of luck with your move. Shalom.